Lamar has unfairly earned his stripes as the one who sends more people to prison than most any other state attorney in Florida. And
really can't understand it or defend it because I don't know what he's referring to.
Coming across as a power-hungry control freak. What is your response to that? What would you say to the people?
I'm not a control freak. I'm just following the statutes.
I have the respect and support of both the criminal defense attorneys and the prosecutors and law enforcement in this community. Down in Osceola as well, I have the police chiefs, both from Kissimmee and St. Cloud, Lee Massey in Kissimmee and Pete Gauntlet in St. Cloud. Now I'm on the civil bench, and I've gotten a lot of support from both the plaintiffs' firms and the defense firms. Everybody seems to be happy with the job I've been doing in the civil side as well. So I enjoy the job. I have an excellent record to run on, and I think
when our jail was bursting at the seams, it's my duty to tell my lawyers, be tough, get a prison sentence.
Going to adjudicate you guilty of the charges, sentence you to 22 years in the Department of Corrections with credit for 473 days time served. I'm going to designate you as a habitual felony offender. The state has proven that, so that you will be designated.
The ghost is inmate Michael Rigby. He apparently escaped from a Florida county jail.
Carlos Rosa has already escaped from the Osceola County Jail once, and investigators say he was going for round 2. While keeping a close eye on him, something caught a corrections officer's attention.
So what I did, it did not violate federal statutes, because otherwise my opponent and my detractor would have a field day.
Recently, opponents continued their field day because.
Have you ever had any kind of discipline from the JQC?
no. I don't think I've ever had anyone complain. I think if there's a complaint, I think they let you know, but I have never gotten a complaint. So I don't really know what those comments are referring to. If I knew a specific date and time and an incident that happened, I could perhaps remember it, but I don't. So if you have a beef about something, you know, that's what the appellate courts are for. So I don't really...
Look at this Osceola headline. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Michael Rigby will be punished.
Well, if you have access to Westlaw or you have access to the 5th District Court of Appeals website, I think if you look at the number of reversals, they're pretty high, and compared to other judges.
Judge Palana, what explains your number of reversals?
Well,
be tough, get a prison sentence.
I don't really know what those comments are referring to.
Well, if you have access to Westlaw or you have access to the 5th District Court of Appeals website, I think if you look at the number of reversals, they're pretty high, and compared to other judges. Judge Palana, too, the other judge that's been down in Osceola County that's been on the bench for about the same amount of time, and if you look at the reversals, there's about 33 or 30.
The jail, the tipping point, though?
I think the jail brought a lot of people in the community to light, to the problems, and gave...
You say they, who are you referring to?
The 2 inmates in the cell, inmate Rigby and Sanders.
Okay.
Sanders was his roommate. He did not escape.
Authorities say Rigby's cellmate offered the guard $40,000 for a hacksaw to use to escape, but Caraballo didn't deliver.
Is it easy to get out?
It was easy to get out.
There are many questions being asked, but this one many people would like an answer to. How is it that a man can escape from a maximum security jail, scale 2 fences, and not be seen at all? When authorities here at the jail were asked how that could happen, they say it is under investigation. Live in Osceola County, Todd Wilson, West 2 News.
Was it easy to get out? It was easy to get out.
Total disgrace.
Former corrections officer Milton Caraballo faces criminal charges for helping Rigby break free. Authorities say Rigby's cellmate offered the guard $40,000 for a hacksaw to use to escape, but Caraballo didn't deliver.
21 staffers for violating policies. Those violations made the escape possible. The report.
Then they went to the cell, or the bunk in the cell, and unfortunately this bunk is not exact, but they were able to cut a piece of metal off of the bunk bed about this long and about this wide. And according to inmate Sanders, they tied 3 sheets together. In the cell, there's actually a table and chair that are fixed to the wall. They wrapped the sheets around the table, tied it off to the cut area, and while one of them pulled, the other one used that metal pry bar that they cut off the bunk, and they used it to rip like a can opener.
Wow.
Now that took, according to inmate Sanders, about 8 or 9 days to get.
Authorities say Rigby's cellmate offered the guard $40,000 for a hacksaw to use to escape, but Caraballo didn't deliver.
We need answers. We want to ask some questions.
Is it easy to escape from the county jail?
Yeah, it was quite easy.
How'd you do it?
Well, just waited until the count was over and just jumped the fence.
How'd you do it?
Well, just waited until the count was over and just jumped the fence.
They admitted razor wire around the perimeter of the jail was incorrectly installed, so it did not prevent inmates from leaving the jail. The state will now review procedures at the jail.
A lot of razor wire around the jail may have been installed wrong, so that it actually makes it possible and easier to climb over to get out than to get in.
I don't have a lot of confidence in the jail chief at this point.
Osceola County Jail Chief.
I mean, I guess that's his prerogative. I'm sure there are a number of people out there that have opinions on that, and I respect their opinion.
You want to go to war, let's get it in. This is crazy. If war bring peace, I'm with it then. I don't start beef, I finish it. Featuring A-Cut, soldiers, we militant.
She identified herself to me as KC, says she used to babysit Rosa's 3 children. Deputies say she let him inside her house, not knowing he'd escaped because he was wearing regular clothing, not prison clothing.
This morning, a local inmate remains on the loose after a daring escape.
Now police have locked up 2 of his family members who they say helped him get away. Todd Wilson at the Osceola County Jail, and Todd, his grandmother heading to court today.
That's right. His grandmother's heading to court. His dad is in jail. And authorities say simply the reason for it is they simply helped him get away.
She let him inside her house, not knowing he'd escaped because he was wearing regular clothing, not prison clothes.
Her grandson clothes, food, and money. Then
The jail, the tipping point, though?
I think the jail brought a lot of people in the community to light to the problems and gave them a crutch or a reason to call us. And then
they need an overhaul in that jail. They're gonna check every guard, every people work there.
Aside from 21 guards and civilians directly blamed, Captain Stacy Gaines and Captain Mark Stroop volunteered to be demoted to lieutenant.
Plus, the jail chief, Greg Futch, handed in his resignation.
I think that the chief felt that it was in the best interest of the county.
Where the county manager has just been fired. West 2's Gail Pascal-Brown is live in Kissimmee. And Gail, it looks like the recent
manager Michael Freilinger no longer has a job. The 3-2 vote supports the termination of his contract effective immediately.
He knew everything. When they told him to get down, he got down. I mean, it's not like he was trying to run or anything. So
Manager Michael Freilinger left immediately, but he does take with him a $300,000 severance package.
Done the right thing? He did the right thing by stepping down.
But with each passing day, there are more calls for a full investigation.
Another scandal appears to be brewing for Governor Rick Scott. He's already been accused of trying to politicize the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And now the former head of the state prison system is accusing Scott of covering up an inmate abuse scandal.
We've had some challenges this week.
I just want to hear who's the least crooked or who's the best of all the crooks, because they all are.
I absolutely believe in accountability and transparency.
With the leader of yet another high-profile agency accusing the governor of political meddling, it's suddenly become a lot more difficult for Scott to downplay the claims, and critics are demanding an even broader investigation.
The attacks against me are absolutely untrue, and they're ridiculous.
As Scott continues to downplay the...
Do you feel that you have your people? Because that person alleges that this was just a blanket situation, that they're just trying to put some numbers out there for us, the media. Do you feel like you have all...
Well, you know, we feel very comfortable.
No, look, every time I see this guy, it becomes more and more unbearable. Like, it's starting to physically repulse me. Like, he almost seems to be enjoying it. That's the thing that's getting under my skin. I feel like he's got this constant smirk, you know, underneath his delivery there, like, oh.
I'm not lying, baby. I'm not supposed to be a fool now. This I know. I just can't help myself.
You want to go to war, let's get it in. This is crazy. If war bring peace, I'm with it.
Unfair jail sentences are being leveled at a local state attorney race.
This is the matchup between incumbent Orange Osceola State Attorney Lawson Lamar and his former employee, Casey Anthony prosecutor Jeff Ashton. Watch 2 political reporter Greg Fox is here now to explain. And Greg, who is making this accusation?
Ashton is the one who claims Lamar has unfairly earned his stripes as the one who sends more people to prison than most any other state attorney in Florida. And the reason?
Sounds wimpy. Lamar makes no apology.
Yeah, have any details about reversal?
Well, if you have access to Westlaw or you have access to the 5th District Court of Appeals website, I think if you look at the number of reversals, they're pretty high, and you compare them to other judges.
Life's but a gamble. The media turn your whole life into a scandal. They can never take me alive. I'm a ride and don't cry. 'Cause mama raised home.